Hello everyone, this is Ashley Tucker for My Favorite Things. Today I have a pretty simple Christmas card to share with you that you can put together pretty quickly for any of your last minute Christmas cards. I picked out this really cute bear from the This Hugs For You stamp set, and I'm stamping that with some Copic friendly black ink onto some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. I quickly colored him in using my Copic markers. I have the marker caps off to the side so that you can see the colors that I used. Now you could of course change out this bear for any other image for this card design. The same stamp set that I got this bear from actually has a bunch of cute little images that would all work for this card. You could actually take this card layout and make a quick card set for Christmas using all of the images from the stamp set. Just stamp them all onto a piece of paper and then color them. And then you can change out the pattern paper and the colored cardstock in the card layout to make all of the cards different and unique. I really love to put together card sets like that. I think that they make really nice gifts for family members. I always find that my mother and my sister-in-laws really appreciate those. And of course, if you do decide to make a set out of something like this, you don't have to make them a Christmas card set. You could go with birthday cards or generic hello cards so that the recipient can use them for anything. All you have to do is switch out the sentiment that you use. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, while I was coloring this bear, I wasn't really feeling it. I was thinking that I didn't really like the way the coloring was turning out. I don't know if it was the color scheme that I wasn't liking or what, but I decided to keep going with it and see where it went and see how I felt about it at the end. And I actually ended up really liking it. Once I got it on the card and I added the highlights with the white gel pen, I thought that it looked really cute. So sometimes you have to kind of see things through. If you're not liking them in the middle of the coloring, sometimes I would recommend just keep going with it and see how it turns out, because sometimes you might be surprised. I think that it's a shame sometimes to throw away something that is not complete and not see what it could have been. Alright, so once the coloring was done, I cut a piece of Kraft cardstock to be 2 1/4 by 3.5 inches, and I'm stamping the paint splatter background onto that using some white pigment ink. And I did take the pad out of the Misty tool to make room for a background stamp. Next, I grabbed a piece of wild cherry cardstock from My Favorite Things, and I cut it to 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and I'm going to be stamping another background onto this one. This is the thick and thin background stamp, and I'm stamping that with Versamark ink, and I did stamp this a few times so that that ink would stand out really nicely. I really wanted this card to have a lot of different patterns on it, and I really liked the way that they all looked together. I picked out a piece of pattern paper from the Cheerful Plaid paper pack, and I cut that so that the width is about 2 3/4 inches. And then I adhered that onto my red cardstock with a tape runner. And now I'm just going to trim off all the excess that's hanging off of the sides with my paper trimmer. Next, I adhered that entire panel onto an A2 size card base made out of Kraft cardstock. I grabbed the smaller Kraft cardstock rectangle that I made earlier, the one that has the snowy pattern on it, and I popped that up with some foam tape right in the center of that plaid piece of paper. I also put some foam tape on the back of the little bear, which you can see I cut out with the coordinating die, and I popped that up in the center of that rectangle. For the sentiment, I picked out one of the stamps from the This Hugs For You stamp set, and I stamped that with VersaFine Onyx Black ink onto some white cardstock, and then I used one of my Skinny Strips dies to cut that out. Added a couple pieces of foam tape to the back of that, and then popped it up on the bottom of the rectangle right underneath the little bear. I used a white gel pen to add highlights to the bear, and like I said earlier, this is where I really felt like this bear came to life and that I started to like him. Something about adding white gel pen highlights to all of my colored in images, I just love it. The final touch for this card was adding some sequins. These sequins are kind of a white translucent color, and I thought that they really worked with this card, and I just kind of spread them across the card, going kind of diagonally from the top left to the bottom right. I adhered those down with some liquid adhesive, and then this card was all done. Now, it might not look it, but this card was actually really quick and easy to make. So like I said, this is a great card design for some of your last minute Christmas cards. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I'll see you next time.